Hello, I'm Rachel and I'm here with my sister-in-law Alana. What are we doing today?
A recap
of our month of March and what we've read, what we've watched, and anything else we want to chit-chat about.
Anything in between.
Anything in between.
Yes.
What do you want to start with? TV, because we just watched The Running Point last night.
Yeah, let's start with TV.
Should we start with TV?
Yeah.
Okay. So last night we watched The Running Point with Kate Hudson. It was so good.
It was so good.
Like, it was so funny.
It was really funny.
Who was your favorite character in it, do you think?
I really like the brothers.
The brothers were wild.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't even remember their names, but
Ness, Sandy, and Cam. Was Cam the older one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Cam because he's kind of a diva, but I think he's gonna be a villain.
Him in the scarf.
Yeah. He's like Galinda, toss. He is.
It was so funny. Like, he had the best line too of, do either of you have cocaine? Of course you don't. You're losers.
You're losers. And then he goes, hey, about that last question, we still don't.
Like, still a no.
You're losers. He's funny.
So funny. Like, so mean, but so funny.
Yeah. He was a good time. The show was good. I didn't know what to expect because I kind of feel like Netflix shows are hit or miss.
Agreed.
They can be cheesy or corny, but and not that this didn't have moments of it, but it was like overall really funny.
Yes, I would say as far as like it was cheesy.
Yeah.
There were some points, like, it really got me in the end, her little like speech. But overall it was funny.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like, cheesy.
I know, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. I really didn't think at the end she would like try to go get Lev back.
Yeah. I didn't think that they were going to lose just because I thought it was like a Netflix.
I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was still surprised.
Yeah.
That they lost.
Yeah.
But like, overall, it was really funny. She like, I don't know why the coach kissed her when he knew he was moving. And he like knows she like is trying to get her like fiance back.
Maybe that's why he did kiss her.
Maybe. I don't know. Personally, I think like her and Marcus had a little chemistry as well.
No, I don't think so at all. You know what this is giving us? Ted Lasso.
Not Travis, Marcus.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
The other player.
Yeah.
I didn't think they had chemistry. I just think that he's their MVP.
I would use MVP lightly because he literally complained about having to play too much in the game on his bad knees because he was old.
Yeah. Well.
So like.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. He literally sent his social media manager to go talk to her.
That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
Like, he showed up and was, here's the candle from our new Target line.
Yeah. Our wellness collection. No, that was funny.
It was funny. Overall, I'd rate it pretty highly.
It was better than I expected it to be.
Definitely better than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I really like Kate Hudson, and I felt like it was a good role for her.
I love Kate Hudson too. Okay. Another thing is, I didn't realize how much like misogyny was gonna be in there. Like, it was like really good. Like, I felt like it was a very empowering role for her. Like what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good role.
I kind of expected it to just being the nature of the show, and she was stepping into a male-dominated industry.
It was like in everything. It was so like things that you see, which is kind of sad on a day-to-day basis, and you're like, that's life, you know, but it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah.
But it was good. I liked it.
It was good.
Yeah. Okay. Any other TV that you have been watching recently that you want to discuss?
Okay, so Ethan and I just started watching Farmer Wants a Wife.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have been debating starting that.
Yeah.
But it's like that topic is so wild to me. Farmer Wants a Wife. All of these girls have got to only be on there because they think these men are rich.
Okay, yes. Ethan and I were talking about that as well. Okay, so the show starts out with these 4 farmers, and they're from like different parts of the state. Some are like Texas, North Carolina. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. And they each get 8 girls to meet on the first night. But then that first night, they can only bring 5 back home to the farm. And like all of these boys live in like these, at least in the first season, these men lived in like a kitchen. Basically, it was like a studio, one floor place, and it had like deer heads all over, like antlers. I looked at Ethan and I said, I would never be able to do this.
Yeah.
This is like terrible. Not terrible. It's just not my vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to Ethan. I said, these girls have to think that these farmers are like super wealthy, and that's why they're doing it.
Oh, for sure.
And more than half of the girls on the show were from New York. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. So it kind of, there was this show that was like, it had 2 main guys. One was a millionaire, one was not. And you didn't know which one.
What show is this?
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
But I do follow the couple that like won on Instagram.
Okay.
And so one is a millionaire, one is not. And the girls do not know which one's a millionaire and which one's not. It's kind of like a guessing game in the end. And these guys, so it's set up a little like Bachelor, but like when they had 2 leads.
Yeah.
And so they go through all the dates, they go through all this time like meeting the girls. And then in the end, they pick their girls. And then they say if they are the millionaire or whoever, and they have to decide if they want to be with them or not. Yeah. Isn't that wild? Anyways, the millionaire one was this big farmer in, I don't even know, let's say Tennessee, Oklahoma, Kansas, whatever area.
Yeah.
And they were together for quite a while after filming.
Uh-huh.
And then they broke up, and now they're back together. But he is a millionaire farmer.
Sure.
So if anybody saw this show, I would assume they'd think that the farmers that they hired for this were like millionaires.
And honestly, most of the farmers, I feel like, because we live in a farming,
Yeah.
I have a decent amount of money, I guess. And so I would just assume so as well. And I'm not very educated on like that lifestyle, but that's what I would probably go into it as well, thinking.
I wouldn't think they're millionaires.
I wouldn't think they're millionaires by any means, but I think they'd live more. But I guess they probably don't.
There's a difference between running a farm and taking care of your family farm.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
I feel.
I don't know any better. But I have to tell you a fun little story that watching this brought back some old memories for me.
Memories of what?
So I told Ethan, I said, this is really embarrassing. I have to tell you my brief stint where I thought I was going to be a farmer's wife. When I was 18 years old, I like had just moved to where I was going to school, and there's a farming frat, you know?
Yes, I do know.
Yep. And so
a farming frat, like universally.
Yeah.
AGR.
Yeah.
I also had an AGR where
have I told you this story?
No, but yeah.
Okay, so there's this boy I was talking to, and I really liked him. And so the first night, like, we had been talking for maybe like a month or two, and he was like,
Sure.
you should come to my frat,
Formal?
we're having,
Oh, just a party.
yeah, we're
Formal.
having a party, not a formal. We did not get that far, unfortunately. First impressions are everything, and I unfortunately am not great at them. So I go there and I couldn't find him. He like wasn't anywhere. And so I had been there for like an hour maybe, and there's other people we knew. And so I had met him through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of like dancing or whatever, and he came down and I was dancing on top of a table and he shook his head and I didn't see him for the rest of the party. And so then I was looking for him and he was upstairs, like sitting with a bunch of girls. And then the girls walked out of the room and I was sitting by him and I was like, "Are you mad at me?" And he goes, "Well, I just don't think," I don't know what he said word for word. I can't remember, but along the lines of, he can't see me being a farmer's wife. And at the time, my 18-year-old heart, I cried for like months.
Listen.
In hindsight, it was for the best.
It was for the best. And I'm sorry, he invited you to a frat party.
Yeah, I was 18. I think we forgot that I said that. I was young.
But what did he expect? That you'd come and just like sit in a corner at a frat party? Is he dumb?
Yeah, yeah.
Had he like met you at all?
No, we did not know each other very well. And that's the thing, is you know me very well.
I do.
Yeah. Anyone that knows me knows that I would never be able to be a farmer's wife, like a stereotypical farmer's wife.
I can't even imagine you anywhere but where civilization is.
I agree. If I'm not 5 miles from a Target, take me out. Take me out back, Old Yeller.
You'd never be home because you'd always be in town or like at my house, because what the hell does one do out on a farm?
There are times where I do wish I lived in the country with like miles that like literally.
You gonna take your ATV, run through the mud?
I probably would take
by yourself.
Yeah.
All day and your farmers out working.
Yeah, like I love to garden and stuff like that.
I didn't say garden.
I know. I wouldn't go mudding by any means, but I would definitely go and read a book in the sun. But, that's not a farmer's wife. That's more of like just like a country living, like Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Nancy Meyer.
Committed, because I don't want to do chores or tasks outside.
Okay, so
in the winter, every day.
I know.
No vacations.
So
you're crazy.
Yeah, Farmer Wants a Wife. Like on the second day there, the men were like, "We're gonna show them what a day-to-day looks like on the farm." They had these girls out there picking up sticks. Like,
you pick up sticks at the lake.
I know Ethan and I were laughing about it. We do pick up sticks at the lake. But I said to Ethan goes, these farmers only joined this show for like free help. Like,
yeah, they were like, "I need a little help on my farm."
Yeah.
You have a group of girls
that
there
for 6 weeks. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. And some of them like put like their jobs on hold or quit their jobs for this.
Yeah, I feel as if most contestants that go on shows or any sort of reality TV have to quit their jobs.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're gone for so long.
I mean, yeah, that's what they do in The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the only show that they might not do that I watch is Love is Blind. I believe they come back and they go back to work. Right? They only have to take so many weeks off.
Or is that Married at First Sight?
It's both.
Yeah.
Because in Love is Blind, the one came back and you kind of have to deal with life while going to work.
Yeah.
Married at First Sight, they keep their jobs too. I think they only have to take off the honeymoon, like their wedding and honeymoon, because then they come back and go into real life and they have to figure out their work schedules and everything like that.
I know. I can't remember if it was Love is Blind or Married at First Sight, but one of them, the girl had come home from working all day and like her fiance was in the same spot he was like all day playing video games. And I was like, ooh,
not the greatest of looks.
no.
To be fair, when Daniel comes in and out of his office, I sometimes haven't moved all day.
You guys are married.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not making a first impression.
First impressions are everything.
They are. And if I did that while I was dating Daniel, I don't think he'd be impressed.
Yeah.
But now sometimes there's just things I've got to do or I want to read. And he goes in and out of his office all day to get lunch, to go to the bathroom, to chit chat. I'm going to be in the same spot sometimes.
You really should have built a door connecting between his office and the bathroom. So he doesn't have to like go outside of his office. Like he can just like
barely
walk through.
To go outside.
You should have made like connecting.
No. That would be so ridiculous. The door is here and the bathroom door is here. He barely has to leave his office.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other shows?
Ethan and I are watching Balin Out Loud. Do you watch that?
No.
Okay, so it's about.
I know what it's about. It's on right after Last Resort.
Yeah, and she has Tourette's.
Yep.
And so recently, her and her boyfriend
got engaged.
Yeah. Her family is so mean to him. Like, so mean to him.
Why?
Specifically, her younger sister, I think her name is Sam. They like give Colin, as his name, the third degree all the time. They're always like, you wouldn't be able to take care of her the way we are able to take care of her. And poor Balin just wants her independence. And because she wasn't born with Tourette's. She got Tourette's when she was like in high school. So it just like came on, and then her whole family had to figure out like how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And the thing that I will say is I genuinely think that she has the best parents ever. Like, her mom and dad are the best. Like, they handle it really well. Like, they've shown them out in public, and her mom is just like the best mom ever. Like,
yeah.
But they don't give Colin a chance really ever. Like,
sure.
He went to ask for her hand in marriage at her parents' house.
Yeah.
And the mom was like, oh gosh. And the dad was like, not really having it. And then her younger sister, Sam, basically told him, like, you're not like good enough. And like, it's not like a good time. He's in the military. So they're always worried that he's going to be like leaving and taking her with and stuff like that. But like, that's what Balin wants.
Yeah. If she didn't want to be with him or like want to go, she wouldn't be with him.
Yeah. It's just an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
They just got renewed for season 2, so
got it.
I'm excited to see. They just got engaged, and he's staying where they are for now, I guess, is what he got from his.
Got it. Daniel and I are also rewatching Succession and Game of Thrones, and they are so good. You need to watch Succession. I think you would like it.
I think I would like it.
Yeah. Daniel's also been watching Severance. I watched the finale with him last Friday.
Season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of know everything that's going on, and I have watched not a single other episode because that's Daniel's own show that he watches by himself.
When does Daniel have time to watch TV by himself?
It comes out on Fridays, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so he watches it on Friday.
Oh.
He has a TV in his office.
What?
Daniel has a TV in his office above his monitor.
I don't frequent Daniel's office.
No, well, he has a TV in his office.
Okay.
So, like, in the morning, he watches the news. If he wants something on in the background, he'll put on a TV show. And on Fridays, he watches Severance.
Oh.
Yeah.
We love a hardworking man.
And sometimes in the middle of the day, he sends TikToks.
Yeah.
But then he works all night, and
yeah,
I just sit on this couch and watch TV while he works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
For me.
I know. That was very whoa me.
He works so hard.
I know. That's all right.
Okay. So, TV shows, wrap. I don't think there's anything else that I'm really watching. I have started to watch a lot more food shows, though.
Are you watching Anna Garden?
No. I'm talking new things.
Oh.
So I watched Next Level Chef.
Okay.
Which is my favorite, like, food competition show with Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
I have been watching Tournament of Champions on Food Network as well. New season 6. I have been watching Kitchen Nightmares because that is one of my favorite shows.
God, you and your brother are the same. Ethan loves Kitchen Nightmares.
Ethan and I like the same kind of shows. Kitchen Nightmares, Wife Swap are the best ones.
Yeah.
We are kind of the same people.
Yeah, you guys are very similar.
And Spring Baking Championship. And the best part about Spring Baking Championship is that Jesse Palmer hosts it.
Yeah.
And so Jesse Palmer hosts The Bachelor.
Uh-huh.
And I thought he was the worst host ever. I watch him on these baking championship shows. He is a great host. And so I believe that only The Bachelor is to blame for him looking like a bad host. They dull him down. They do. He's a great host.
He's probably nervous on The Bachelor.
I think they just dull him down and don't let him, like, sparkle. Like, he sparkles in the end credits when he's being funny and, like, just himself. But, like, throughout the show, he has to be so serious. And he is just not that kind of host.
They dull his sparkle is the craziest accusation.
No, he's a great host.
I believe you.
And on The Bachelor, he's terrible. It has to be the producers. It has to be.
It has to be.
It does. There's no other explanation for why he's a great host on one and a subpar host on the other.
I believe you.
Okay. But that is what I've been watching. And Wildcard Kitchen. Wildcard Kitchen is another one that's really great. As I said, I watch a lot of television.
I'm glad.
Yeah. And now I have a TV up down in my gym. So I can just watch away.
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. What do you want to move on to? Books?
Books.
What have you read for the month of March?
Let me pull up my Goodreads. Okay, I have to say something really funny.
Okay.
I just opened my phone to look at Goodreads, and my manager that I requested to follow my first year I started working there just accepted my follow request.
How many years later?
For 6 years.
Oh my God.
So I didn't even remember. That's so funny.
That is really funny.
Okay, I read 7 books this month.
Mm-hmm.
And I read The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins.
Oh yes, I wanted to read that.
Yep.
Does that have the peacock on the cover? Like the peacock tail?
It has peacock colors, but there's no peacock. Yeah. So I rated it 3 out of 5 stars.
So I might not read it.
It was good. I just there are some parts where I kind of felt like it was
what? Unrealistic, cheesy.
Unrealistic.
Okay.
But have you ever seen Saltburn?
No.
Okay, so it's like the girl version of Saltburn, and I did enjoy.
Got it. Okay.
It was all right. It also kind of gave Seven Husbands of Evelyn here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read.
You must share that one. You absolutely must, because you read it and I was there.
So I finished a book at the lake and we still had a day and a half left. So then I wanted just a quick book. And so I bought this book on my Kindle called Beautiful Bastard out of the Beautiful Bastard series.
This book is called Beautiful Bastard. The cover is a man standing there, like, adjusting his cufflink.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours
by Christina Lauren, and I like their books.
Long.
Yeah.
And she thought it'd be a cute little romance.
It's 318 pages. And I thought that it was going to be.
I would like to let you know, when we were in Target the other day, I saw these books.
Yeah.
And the word bastard is about this tiny at the very bottom that you can like barely see it. Those are not the covers in store.
Misleading.
It is misleading.
Yeah. But I still rated it a 3 out of 5. At first I didn't think it was gonna have much of a storyline, and I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna be able to finish it.
Yeah.
But then it ended up having
you said it got better.
Yeah. I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I rated that 4 out of 5 stars. I read The Little Prince, Magnolia Parks, BJ Ballantyne. If you know, you know. I rated it 5 out of 5. It was a very sweet little story.
Mm-hmm.
I read House of Sky and Breath, the second Crescent City book. I read House of Flame and Shadow, the third Crescent City book. I rated the second one 5 out of 5 and the third one 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez, and I rated that 3 out of 5.
That's on Kindle Unlimited. I was gonna read that.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Would you rate it?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Okay. You've officially finished all of the Sarah J. Maas.
I have the Massiverse.
How do you feel?
Good.
Like all the energy was sucked out of you?
I'm kind of sad.
Books were so long.
Yeah, I do kind of feel like it put me in a reading rut for the rest of the month.
Sure.
Like I was reading quick stories towards then, and then like Book Lovers is a cute, happy one. So yeah.
Well, I read The Crash by Frida McFadden. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say it was expected but unexpected. As you got to things, they made sense and I could guess like beforehand, but I wouldn't say I could guess way far in advance what was going to happen. At points you think the main character is so dumb, but she's pregnant, like 9 months pregnant, and yeah. And the situation calls for her maybe being a little dumb and not thinking.
Sure.
Yeah. But it was good. I would suggest it. It was like quick read. I read it in 3-ish days, I would say. Then I finally read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I rated it a 5 out of 5. Vampires are not usually my thing. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
The whole blood thing, a little weird.
Yeah.
But it was so good.
Yeah.
It definitely, the main guy, Rain, gave off Kingfisher energy until the very end, though.
I love Kingfisher.
I love Kingfisher. Yeah. Their banter was really good through the whole thing. But we didn't get any spice until the very end.
Sure.
Which was a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
He is like golden retriever energy a little bit. She is just very stubborn. And so they just would not get along for the longest of time.
Yeah.
But it was good. 5 out of 5. Daniel and I officially finished in the car the Red Crown series. We finished Warstorm. I rated a 3 out of 5. I listened. I fell asleep during it. It just, the main Mayor Barrow is terrible. Terrible. And Cal, like,
terrible.
Like, he could be king. And these two, like, she just wants him to pick her over a crown. And I'm sorry, you're just not great enough. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He's trying to run a country. You're just not great enough. It's true. I'm sorry. You can't tell someone who his whole life he's worked to be king, prepped to be king, prepared to be king. His dad was king. And this little girl comes in and is like, but don't you love me enough? Don't you believe in me and my people enough to give it all up? No. Are you done?
No, are you dumb?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daniel explained to me what happened in the end. I couldn't even tell you what happened. But it was too long. These books were too long.
Yeah. Well,
The first one, amazing. And then it got too long. Second one was good too. The third and fourth could have been half the lengths that they were. I'm sorry, there is no reason that War Storm should have been. Let me find out how many pages this is.
I felt this way about Crescent City. I felt like it was too long. Longer than it needed to be.
Oh, where does it say how many pages they are? 662 pages.
That's a long book.
Is unnecessary. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Beyond.
No, that sounds necessary.
And the one before it, King's Cage,
yeah,
was 700 pages.
700 pages.
Alana, these were too long. These two books should have been one, and it maybe would have held my attention, but I could not. I hated it. I tried anything to make Daniel not listen to it in the car because I wanted to listen to something else.
That's like a Sarah J. Maas length book. 600 to 800 pages.
Yes, I know, but we were going.
No, I'm saying like only she can pull that off.
Sometimes.
Crescent City was too long.
Crescent City was a little long. I'll give it to her in the second book. I loved the second book.
The second book was
the third book was too long.
Yeah.
Yes.
The second book was giving Empire Storms.
It really was. Yeah. And then it just wasn't as fast paced as Kingdom of Ash was through Shadow and Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is what I read this month. I wouldn't even say I really read War Storm. I listened to the end of it, slept through half of it. Daniel finished it though.
It's all right.
He listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is what I read this month.
There we go.
Okay, well, anything else? Books, TV?
I think that covers it.
We went to Snow White.
We did go to Snow White.
Let's talk about Snow White.
Okay.
It was better than I expected. Still not great.
That's good verbiage. That's a good way to put it.
I think the highlight for me was when we met the dwarves and they sung Hi Ho and Dig Dig Dig.
Yeah, that was probably the best part.
Was the best part. It gave the ride in Disney World.
Yeah.
Like the mine ride.
Well, it was the only like nostalgic part. I felt like it was only.
My favorite song in there that she sings is by the Wishing Well, the I'm wishing or I'm dreaming for my prince to come, which again couldn't have made this film because there was no prince. But that's my favorite song.
Yeah.
And she would have sounded good singing it. So I think it was a disservice not to have that song. To be fair, though, I have had the main song that they sing stuck in my head. What is it? The that has been stuck in my head.
I couldn't even tell you any of the songs that were in it. Besides the little ones.
I can't think of what the words are. I was singing the words the other day. All things change. Or all
when they're baking the pies and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. That has been stuck in my head. So I mean, I guess it was a good song if I
remembered it.
Saw it once. Have only listened to those songs those few times. And then or like not few times, but that one time. And I've been like wandering around my house, like kind of humming it.
My favorite thing of Snow White was the Evil Queen. She was so good.
She was good. I feel her number though was not villainous enough. It was
very PG.
It was theatrical.
Yeah.
It was as if this movie was made to put on a stage. I felt. Even some of their framing at the end of the cleaning song, they all came together in the screen frame like you would on a stage.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem movie real. If that makes sense.
No, I get
Some of the shots just felt so theater, like it should be on a stage.
Yeah.
And not for a movie.
I she had a stunning wardrobe. Like all of her like stained glass.
Yes,
She had, yeah. I liked her. My favorite line that the evil queen said was, ambitious girls are vicious girls. And it was my favorite thing. That's like one of my takeaways from this movie.
We talked about this. The Snow White main dress was not,
It looked so cheap.
the yellow was too yellow. I tried to get through it. I think the top, had the bottom been different, would have been fine. But the bottom was so yellow and just tulle that it read cheap.
It looked very costumey.
Again, this was made to put on a stage. This was not made for a movie.
Yeah.
I feel.
Austin's Snow White dress from Bippity Boppity was prettier than this movie dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was better than I expected, but it still wasn't great.
Did you see that IMB, whatever?
IMBD?
Yeah, their rating was like
IMBD.
Yeah, it is the lowest. It's the lowest rated movie, like not ever, but like pretty low. It rated lower than Cats. Cats was 2.8, and I think Snow White was like 2.1.
I also think this movie is getting low ratings because no one expected it to be even decent.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, and I think that Rachel's a very talented person.
Yes, I think she killed the movie for them, though.
Yeah.
With her press tour.
She did not have good
ago.
Like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say
think that whole thing not happened, it would be perceived very different. Yeah. I think people would think of the movie differently, and they wouldn't think of just that press tour a year ago for the movie.
This is gonna be my hot take about it. Yeah. And I am a very like pro like females, but it's sometimes okay to have a prince. Like
it's a princess movie.
It's a princess movie, and it's the first princess movie that Disney ever made.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but that's a prince came and saved her, and I get it. But we don't have to have a Shiro for every freaking movie these days. There is so much women empowerment, and I know it needs to be an active thing to keep going, but I really wanted to see a prince.
Yeah.
It's a princess movie.
It is a princess movie.
Yes.
There could have been a prince.
Yeah.
He could have been a prince. I think maybe for their storyline, a prince required too much work to entertain in their story, because the prince has to be a prince somewhere else. There has to be a reason that they're getting married. There has to be a reason that the prince is even there. And so it's easier to write in someone that just lives in the kingdom already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's fine, but she cannot go say that this isn't a love story, because it was.
It was. So that's what I was shocked about, because when she was doing her press, she's like, this isn't your typical princess movie, like blah, blah, blah. I'm no damsel.
She ate an apple, laid there asleep, and needed to be kissed awake.
Yeah. And like they did fall in love. They had like a whole dancing scene where they were falling in love.
Montage of them falling in love. And he just wasn't a prince.
Yeah.
So technicalities.
I wish he would have been a prince.
I do too. It fit the story. The other thing was that the dwarves were not supposed to be the dwarves they were, correct?
I don't know if we know this.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had heard. But then watching it, all of his friends looked to be the dwarves that everyone thought we were getting.
Yeah.
But I can see where that might have been the case just based on the footage and watching. They were shown a lot once they were introduced. Like a lot of the dancing scenes were them, like during their little dancing montage at the cottage. And then in the end, when they were dancing, they were shown a lot.
Yeah.
So they could have just reworked the footage.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Yeah.
But regardless, it was
better than we thought, still not great.
Yes, I would agree. It could have been great.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been good if there were just, I think it would have been better had there not been this, like, dark cloud over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my opinion.
That's a good opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think that kind of wraps up our little catch up of the month of March.
There we go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Well, then that's it. Bye.
Bye.